TV network.
It is Sunday, and a new era kicking off on the Fox Sports 1 network. The Jockey Club Tour on Fox will showcase the Don, will also certainly give us the Gulfstream Park Turf Handicap, and I'm sure on tape delay they'll show Groupie Doll's final race, the Hurricane Birdie. And to help with the analysis and to celebrate this new era, Rich Migliore of the New York Racing Association, HRTV, and so many other things it's hard to keep track of. Meg, good morning.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day down here in Florida. Nice little reprieve from the New York winter.
Well, we're going to get a reprieve from absences of racing on television later today. And, of course, this is aimed at a wider audience, Rich, and a lot of what the Jockey Club promised and what Fox, Mike Mulvihill have talked about is presenting the game in a little bit of a new light, taking advantage of these spots to teach people how to bet, what the game is all about when it comes to wagering their dollars.
Yeah, I think it's a great mix. I love the team that's been put together. With Andy Serling and Simon Bray handling the handicap, and Greg Wolf as the host, Alyssa Ali as the reporter, and me as the racing analyst. I just think we're going to come from some different perspectives, but everybody very knowledgeable in their own area. And I kind of was really feeling good about it last night. We all had dinner together and we were kicking around ideas and talking about the races. And I think that's maybe going to be the biggest strength, Steve, is that we're going to actually be, we're all racing fans besides, so we're going to be bringing it from that perspective.
Talk a little bit about what you were looking forward to as this assignment. You were obviously plenty of experience when it came to the HRTV, and that has to give you a good base and a high confidence level. Also, the work that's gone on the last few years at NYRA. Talk about getting in front of the camera on a national basis.
It's funny, Steve. I just never really thought much about it. When I went to work for HRTV, actually even before I went to work for NYRA, they handed me a microphone, and I went out there and started talking about a subject that I think I'm pretty knowledgeable about and I'm very passionate about. So it kind of came easy, although I look back now on some of my early stuff with HRTV, and I don't know how they stuck with me. I just think it was, you got to get used to so many things, somebody talking in your ear in the IFB. But NYRA really honed that, especially hosting the Dark Day simulcast shows. So I even got some hosting experience with that. And really, I feel very comfortable about this, very relaxed. I hope they don't pull a Cindy Brady when the red light goes on.
Well, and of course, Rich, the nice part about this assignment doesn't look like anybody is going to be able to spin you and steal your mount.
No. So some broadcasting gigs have been stolen like mounts too, but at least for this year in this series, I'm pretty locked in, and I really, like I said, I love the team, and I'm really looking forward. I think we got some great races we're going to cover today, and certainly going on down the line. I know that some people have questioned some of the races in the series, but I think we're really bringing a full mixed bag and kind of introducing or showing people all different types of racing, from 2-year-olds to grass horses to dirt horses, 3-year-olds on the Triple Crown Trail. It's fun and exciting to be a part of something in the fruition of it.
And Rich, I don't think it's Cindy Brady. I think it's Ralph Cramden. Don't say Peloponnese on the air. Keep away from that. But Rich, give us some of your thoughts on the Don this afternoon. We just had Mike Welch on, and he thought might be worth taking a little bit of a shot against Will Take Charge. I did the handicapping show earlier. Mike Welch thought River 7 was interesting. I'm going with the other horse that had a very nice race just a few weeks ago right here at Gulfstream, Lee. I'm going to take a little bit of a roll of dice with Lee. I got Will Take Charge right underneath, but I think Will Take Charge coming over from Oak Lawn where they've had some weather issues. If there's a race this year that maybe it's worth taking a shot against, I'll take a slight shot against. I have him right underneath. But what are your thoughts on the Don?
Well, Seth, you'll see later on if you watch the show, that's exactly how the track is graphic, the way I laid out the race. I think Lee's lone speed. I think he's going to control the race. I think he's going to be, hounded some by Romance. River 7 should be lurking right in behind them. And I think Will Take Charge is going to run out of racetrack. I think he's vulnerable today for a number of the reasons you're saying. One of the things, too, I don't like horses going from a colder climate to a warmer climate. And it is very warm here and very humid, and I just think it affects horses adversely. So I think he's got several things stacked up against him. The layoff, a speed-favoring surface with a short stretch, probably missed some training days down at Oaklawn because of the weather, and then coming from that warmer, colder climate to the warmer climate. So I think Lee's going to take him on a merry chase, and I think we'll take charge and run well, but he'll run at a racetrack.
You know, Rich, got to also take advantage before we let you go. Dave Grenig was with us earlier. We talked about the announcement this week back at Ozone Park. Martin Panza crafting a absolute bonanza day for Belmont. And one aspect of this that we weren't going to talk about with Dave is something that people probably haven't thought about. That is riders. And a 10-stake card, yes, it's a lot like Breeders' Cup, but gee, you got to think that that's a very intense kind of a day. Talk about your reaction to the news this week.
Well, I think it's great. I think it's going to catch people's attention, and that's what we need to do. I mean, our sport is so great, and we love it so much. But if we don't get it out and grab people's attention with it, pay attention to it, we're never going to get them back into the fold. So I think this is a way of doing that. It's almost, like hitting them over the head with it. Hey, this is the greatest day of racing aside from, or the richest day of racing aside from the Breeders' Cup. It might even be a better day of racing. And I love it in every respect. As a rider, Steve, you go into a day like that, you hope you ride 13 races because the other 3 races are $100,000 allowance races. I'll be tired the next day, but let me ride every race that day and have some chances because it's a day to make a lot of money. What I'd like to say is it's a day that a rider could have a good year.
There you go. Well, I'm anxious, obviously, for that and how it plays out, and we're anxious for this afternoon's broadcast, Fox Sports 1, that will present the Jockey Club Tour, and Rich Migliore, Andy Serling, Greg Wolf, Alyssa Ali, and Simon Bray, your team. Get familiar with them. They'll be coming to you 9 times this particular session this year, and then next year as many as 20, it looks like, and beyond.